Hello everyone, hope you are all doing really well. So today we are going to learn how we can make a simple calculator in Scratch. So yeah, let's begin. So we're going to do this in two parts. The first part is to create the UI. And the second part would be to code for all of these components that we have just created. So I'll give you the demo first. So this is how it's going to look like. I click on the flag and we have all the numbers, all the operations and a clear button and then an equal to button to get the answers and a decimal button as well. For example, if I say 5 plus 2 equal to gives me 7. For example, I want to erase everything and start a new operation. So again, I remove this. For example, I say 4 minus 3 gives me 1. I can clear everything. I can say 2.1 multiplied by 5. It's going to give me 10.5. And let's do some division as well. So 9 divided by 2 gives me 4.5. Right? Let's begin with this. So let's create the UI first. So I have a blank project right here. We don't need the scratch card, so let's remove this. Let's start by creating the background, and I'm going to create this orange box which is there at the back first. So over here I'm going to select the square option, get the color, I think somewhere over here. Okay, this looks fine, 0, 50 and 100, right? So we have our background right here. The next up, we are going to create all of the buttons necessary. Over here, we do need this white background as well, where we can show our answers. So over here, again, I'll set the fill to white, and then I'll just put this on the top, and this. And here we can show our answers. Let's go to code. Let's start by making the button. So over here, we have all of these number buttons. Let's start with the number buttons first. So I'm gonna go and create a new sprite, paint a new sprite. I'll create a rectangle right over here, like this. It's too big, let's make it a bit smaller. Zoom in a bit. Okay, this looks fine. I'm gonna center it. And okay, so you see how calculators don't have numbers in ascending order but in the special order. So it starts by 7, 8, 9 and then 4, 5, 6 and then 1, 2, 3. So it sort of starts from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8, 9. So that's how we're going to place it. In each row we want actually 4 buttons, 3 for the numbers and 1 for the operations. So let's see, do we have enough space for this? I don't think so. Let's make this even smaller, center it, 1, 2, 3, and then yeah, I think this is gonna be fine. For the color, I'm gonna use the same color that I put in the background. So as you can see, I've maintained this orange theme everywhere. So the background is orange, and then I'm gonna make the background for the button white, but the numbers are again orange. Just I've made them a little darker. So let's go over here. I'm gonna select this. I don't want the outline, so this goes away, and I want numbers here. So let's suppose I want 9 and the color is, I suppose we did 0, 50 and 100. So I'm gonna make this darker because yeah, this does not look that great, so I'm gonna make it darker. So maybe to 60 or something. Let's put this on the center of the white box. Let's make it a little bigger. Yeah, I think this seems good. I'm gonna make this overall just a little bit bigger and again center the whole thing. Yeah, I think this is good. Also, as you can see, I've made the buttons edges round, so we're gonna do that as well over here. I'm gonna use the reshape tool and I'm gonna say from here to here, so like the center of the side to the same distance above and the same distance at the bottom. Now I'm gonna, oh, no. Actually, okay, no. Let's undo that, undo that, undo that. That would make all the edges round. Like that would make it look like this. We don't want that. We only want just slightly the corner to be round. So I'm gonna make, one spot over here and the one spot over there. And then I can now push this in and this will make it round. Yeah, this looks good. Same thing over here. Like this, like this, like this. Again, like this, then corner is round. Oh, same thing over here to the fourth corner. This goes in. Yeah, okay, this looks good. I'm gonna go to the background. I'm just gonna make it tiny bit bigger. So select tool, drag it a little, center it. Yes, which also means I have more space. I can make this bigger as well. So I'm gonna select it, make it bigger, and center it. Yeah, I think this is fine, right? So next I'm gonna duplicate this, duplicate this, duplicate this. Let's see. Do they fit in same line? I'm gonna put the numbers 8 and then this is gonna be 7 and then 9, 8 and then 7. We don't have actually enough space on the right side. Okay, maybe we can increase the width of the background. So select tool, select the whole thing, make it bigger, center it. Okay, place it right here. Let's place this one right here and this one right here. It's on the height 32, so I'm gonna do the same thing, 32 over here and 32 over here as well, so they're on the same line. Okay, I'm gonna before I go ahead and make rest of the buttons, number buttons, I'm gonna go ahead and make the operations button, the plus button over here, so that I can see if everything is fitting well or not. So that if it is not, then I can change it right here. I don't want to duplicate all the sprites first and then see, okay, these are not fitting and I need to change the size, because that way I would have to change it for like rest of them, and it's gonna be a lot, like there are gonna be a lot of sprites on the screen, and then I would have changed I would have to change for each one of them, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so let's create the operation sprite. So I'm going to paint another costume right here, and again this starts off with a rectangle like this, and it needs to be filled. Actually it needs to be filled with the same orange color, so I'm gonna fill it with 0, 50 and 100. 0 color, 50 saturation, and brightness 100. Okay, this is good. Of course it needs to be smaller. Let's make it smaller. Let's zoom in so that we can work with it easily. It needs to be reduced. Okay, I think this is fine. Yeah, I'm gonna center it. And do we have an outline over here? We don't. So let's not put an outline. Let's remove the outline from here. Good. And this needs to be the same color, but again, this all these three colors belong to the same family. It's just that I've made this darker and this darker as well. So you can say that this and this are similar colors, right? So I can go over here, similar shades actually. So I can go over here and I can make this darker again so that it stands out in the background. Okay, so maybe like 65, and yeah, that's what we have. What color did we put for this? 0, 61 and 100. Yeah, so same color actually. So 0, 61 and 100. So 0, 61. Yeah, okay. Going forward, I'm gonna make this round. Now I don't want just the corner bit round, but the whole, the whole side to be curved actually. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use again the reshape tool, and this time I wanna put a spot over here on the center of the side, and at the same distance I'm gonna put the spot over here and at the bottom. Then I can just do this so it's rounded. Same thing over here so that it's rounded. Same thing on the other side as well. So this goes in, this goes in. Yep, so it's all rounded now. Okay, this is fine. I'm gonna actually make it back to 65. I think that was looking a bit better than 61. So I'm just gonna saturation. Yes. Okay, this needs to have the plus sign right here, so I'm going to create that plus sign, and of course the color needs to be white for this one. We have the plus sign. I'm going to use the select tool, and I'm going to increase the size according to the box. Yep, I think this looks fine, just a little bit smaller though. Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and duplicate all of this. So I actually want 4 of these like this. So plus, and this is going to be the minus one, then this is going to be the multiplication one, and then the division one. Okay, we don't have enough space at the bottom because at the bottom I wish to put one more button for the calculation button, the equal to button. So let's go ahead and go to backdrops and change this a little. So I'm going to select it, select the whole thing actually, make it teeny tiny, less width, and this can go a little bit up, actually can be a little bit thinner height wise. Okay, why it can be thinner height wise, let me explain that to you. When we will start with the code for this, actually we're going to be using a variable, so to show the calculation over here. So I'll make a calculator variable, and I need to show it. I need to show it inside it, right? So that's why it can be thinner. It just needs to be the height needs to be enough so that it can have this variable inside it. Okay, let's go to backdrops. I don't like the white, the black outline over here, so I'm going to remove the outline as well. This goes to none, and yeah, okay, this is good. Now we have enough space. Let's just shift this a little up, like this, like this, this, and this can be right over here. Actually, I like that. And let's say 55. So this can be 55 again. This can be 55. So they're aligned like perfectly. 55 over here. Okay, let's duplicate these numbers as well. So I want, I think, 10 of them. Actually, 11 of them. Yeah, 10 digits and then the dot as well. So 11 of them. So I'm going to duplicate, keep on duplicating like this. Again, 9, 8, 7. This is supposed to be 6. Let me change that in the costume. 6. Then this is supposed to be 5. This is supposed to be 4. This is supposed to be 3, 2, and then this 1. I need 2 more of these, so duplicate and duplicate. This is supposed to be 0, so I can place it right here. And this is supposed to be the dot, so I can place it right here, the dot. I should center this, and I should increase the size for this. Oh, it's too big, is it? Let's zoom out and see. If I place it right, it actually looks good. No, it looks a little bit big than it should be. I should make it smaller, right? For this, I'm not going to center it properly. I'm just going to put it a little on the left because I think that looks good rather than this being on the center, right? Okay, so that were all my numbers. Let's do the operations. So that's the first one, plus this is the second one, minus. Again, I need to resize it like this, place it right here. That's actually way too. I do think that the operation buttons that we have created are a little too big, so I'm gonna make it small actually. So rather than making it small over here, I'll just change to 80. Okay, maybe to 90. Okay, 90 looks fine. Same thing over here to 90. I'm gonna place it over here. Good. Next one is supposed to be multiply. Okay, this is too big for the box. I'm gonna reduce the size a little bit less. This again needs to be 90. Let's do the last one. This is supposed to be divide. So the slash sign, and it needs to be small according to the box. Yep, again the size can be 90. I'm gonna place these two as well. This goes over here and this goes over here. This is just perfect, right? Next up, we want to create the last two buttons, which are going to be the equal to and the clear all sign. So I'm going to paint them as well. So I'm going to create a circle. Yep, I'll press shift so that's a perfect circle like this. I'm going to make it smaller. That's too big for the screen. Yes, smaller, smaller, smaller. Okay, it needs to be a little bit smaller. Center it. Okay, I think this seems fine. So this is going to be the equal to. Again, I've put the same color as this. It's just that yeah, just the same color, and the equal to is going to be in white color. So I'm going to set the fill to 0, 50, I think. Was it 50? No, it was 65. 65 and 100. And the equal to sign. So the text button and the equal to, and then the color needs to be white for this one. Oh, I did the plus. It needs to be equal to. And let's put this on the center of the circle, just like that. Okay. I'm not happy with the size of it. Let's increase it a little more. Okay, that's fine. Also, I want to change the background a little bit so that it's not merging with the operator buttons that we have. So I'm gonna make it a little lighter maybe. Okay, no, 56, I've put it to 60. Okay, let's put an outline for this one. I'm gonna put an outline. Not that much though. Okay, 0, 50. So I'm gonna make it darker, something like this. Yeah, need to increase it from 4 to 6. Okay, this looks fine. I'm going to not put this in the same column, but just a little bit left so that it like stands out or something. And I'm going to duplicate this, and we're going to have the clear button as well. So undo that. That was an accident. Let's change it to C or clear all, and then let's place it in here. Okay, and again we can put the clear all over here and the equal to right over here. I think I'm going to increase the background just a tiny bit from the bottom, so just a tiny bit like this. This seems fine. Okay, that sums up our UI. Let's start with the code for this. Let's start with the number one. Well, let's start with the number buttons. So over here, let's start with the 9. So the idea is that I have this variable called operators. Oh, sorry, I have this variable called calculator right over here, and whatever I click, whichever button I click over here, for example 985, that number should be shown over here into this variable, right? So if you have been doing Scratch for a while, you would know that's actually pretty easy to do. It just, is this code wherein you say whenever this particular sprite is clicked, I want the variable to be set to 9. So I'm going to go to variable, and I can just simply say set variable to 9, right? The same thing I can do for the other ones as well. For this one, it's going to be 8, and for this one, it's going to be 7, right? Let's give it a try. I click on 9, we have 9. I click on 8, we have 8, and I click on 7, we have 7. But there is a problem over here. If I go over here and if I say 7, 7 shows, but if I click 8, if I press 8, it does not change it does not delete what was there inside it, and does not put the number to 8 only. It actually concatenates, or in other words, joins the 7 with 8. Okay, it does not replace the 7. So we need to do that over here as well. So over here, you need to think how we can actually, we don't want to replace or override the last one. So I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds. Think about it, like think about it, like how we can actually not replace it but join it. Okay. Okay, let's see. Were you able to figure out? I'll give you the answer. Let's see. So I'm gonna go over here to control. Oh no, 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 not control. To operators, yes. And in operators, we do have a block that says join apple and banana. And if I click over here, you would see that it joins whatever you have written in the first blank and as well as on the second blank. So it says apple, banana, right? Maybe we can use this. If we somehow say 7 over here, if we are able to, if we are somehow able to put whatever is there inside the variable already into this, and whatever is being clicked into this, then we'll be able to do this, right? So if 7 was already there and now I'm pressing 8, then it should give me 78, and it's doing that, it's joining it, right? So I can, instead of placing it to 9, I can place the join block over here, and I can say join whatever is already there inside the calculator with what is being clicked. Okay, so I'm going to go to variable, and how do I get that? I mean, whatever is there inside the variable, how do we know what's there inside the variable? Actually, we can know variables are there for this purpose only, that you can know the values that they hold. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to pick this up, this calculator, and instead of 7, I'm going to put this to calculator. So this means whatever is already there inside the calculator, it's going to replace this with that. Okay, and for the next one, what is being clicked? 9 is being clicked, right? Same thing over here. Join, I'm going to go to operator, join calculator, like whatever is already there inside the calculator with 8. Same thing over here. So join whatever is already there inside the calculator with 7. right? Let's give it a try. I click on the flag, nothing happens when I click on the flag because we have not done any code for the flag trigger. But yeah, now if I press 9, it will not replace the 7 which is already there. It will actually say 79. Same, if I put 7, it says 7977, and if I put again 8, it says 79778, which is exactly what we want, right? Same way, we're going to do it for all the other numbers as well. So this is going to be 6 and this is going to be 5. By the way, if you're wondering how I have this code in all of the sprites, how I am able to paste it, you can simply just click on the code that you want to copy, Control C from your keyboard or Command C if you're on Mac, and then just paste it over here with Control V or Command V. And yeah, the code will be over here in the other sprite. Again, this needs to be 4, this needs to be 3, this needs to be 2, right here, this needs to be 1, 0, and the decimal right there. Perfect. Okay, this is all done. The numbers are all done. Let's start with the operators now. Okay, now this is where I want you to like focus, like give your whole attention over here, because this is the the difficult part of this project. Rest was actually pretty easy, but this is what you need to understand carefully. So the idea is we're going to make 3 more variables. Okay, so whenever I do any problem or any operation over here, for example, I'm going to just create a comment over here. For example, I say 4 plus 1 is going to be equal to 5. Now focus over here that how we have this first number, we always have this second number, we always have this operator which tells us what we are going to be doing. Are we going to add, we're going to subtract, or what? Then we always have this answer over here, right? So we're going to actually create variables for all these 4 things. Okay, we're going to call this num a, or the first number. We're going to call this num b, or the second number. We're going to call this operator, and we're going to call this calculator, right? We already have the calculator variable over here that we created when we were making the UI. Let's create the rest 3. So I'm going to go over here, let's call it num a. Oh, num a. I'm going to create another one called num b, and then I'm going to create another one called operator, right? Now the idea is always what happens, like I start this calculator, I put in my first number, I then say plus, and then I say the second number, and then I say equal to. So always I'm first putting up a number, then the operator, then the second number, and then the equal to. That's the series. Okay, that's the series of the actions that any person is going to perform on this calculator, right? So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, before we actually even start that, I'm gonna go to the clear button and I'm gonna just say that whenever the flag is clicked, the calculator is gonna be empty to begin with. So I'm gonna say set calculator to nothing actually. So if I click on the flag, this is empty now, which is good. Okay, so I click on the flag, it is empty. I say, for example, 84. And the next step, this was my first step that I've put in my first number. The next step is going to be that I will actually press on any of these 4 operators. For example, I press on plus. Now the moment I press on this plus operator, I want this to be empty so that the next step, which is to put in my second number, we can do that, right? So that we have space over here, it's blank over here, and ready to take in the second number. So that's what I'm going to do. And think, where should we actually put that code? Again, if I click over here, I want this to be emptied out. So where should be the trigger? And if you've guessed it right, it should be in the plus. So I'm going to go to the plus and I'm going to say that whenever this sprite is clicked, I want the calculator to be empty. So set calculator to nothing so that we have space for the second number. Again, I click on the flag, I see 84 and I say plus. This becomes empty so that I can put in my first number, for example, 21. Okay. Now, even though we want this space to be empty like the first time, we don't want to lose the number that the person input over here. right? We actually want to save it, and that's what this variable is for. Okay, so that we can empty it out, so that so that we have space for the second number, but also we are saving it into the first number. In other words, I can just simply say set num a to whatever was already there in the calculator, right? So that means now if I click on the flag, I say 84, and this time when I click on plus, the 84 won't be lost. It will actually be in num a, right? So 84 actually goes in num a, and this is empty, and we have now space to put in our second number. Okay, this might be a little difficult, so take a pause this video and just read this code, try to understand it, and once you're comfortable, then you can go forward with this, right? Okay, hope you are comfortable, hope you understand what I just said. And for the next bit, we are gonna say actually the same thing. So now we can put in our second number, for example 21, and the next step would be to click on this equal to, and the moment I click on the equal to, this 21 needs to be on num b, right? So actually I'm gonna go over here to equal to, and I can say whenever this sprite is clicked, I want to set num b to whatever was already there in the calculator, right? Let's give it a try. I click on the flag. Um, okay, this needs to be emptied out. When the flag is clicked, we'll do it in a bit. But again, I say 84, I say plus, this 84 actually goes in num a. I have space to put in my second number. I say 21 and I say equal to. And 21 actually goes to num b, which is absolutely fantastic. Now we have two variables, and both the variables has the num a first number and the num b the second number, and now we can empty this out to put in our the output, the result. Okay, so we can say set calculator to empty, although this step is not necessary, but yeah. So now this is going to be empty, and we can just simply say that whenever this equal to was clicked, we need to show the answer on the screen. Now how do we know, how do we know what to do, as in, do we need to add it or subtract it or multiply it or divide it? That is what this third operator is for. Okay, so the moment you actually click on any of the operators, you want to do one last step to the operator, which is that we want to set the operator variable to whichever operator that was clicked. So since I'm doing it for the plus, I'm going to set it to plus, right? I click on the flag. Okay, let's do this step as well before we check this. So I can do it in clear all maybe. So when the flag is clicked, I want to set the calculator to empty. I want to set the num a to empty. I want to set num b to empty. So I can just duplicate and put it num b, and I of course want to do the operator empty as well. So I click on the flag, everything is empty. I say 84, perfect. The number is showing up. I say plus, 84 goes over here to num a, and the operator goes over here to the operator variable. Very good. And then I say the next number 21. Then if I say equal to, 21 goes over here. We have all our players ready. We have num a player, we have num b player, we have operator, and we just simply add those and put the result over here. Okay, so that's going to be the last step of this calculator. I'm going to go over here to sprite 16 or my equal to button. Then I'm going to say whenever this sprite is clicked, do this, okay. But then at this moment you want to check something. What do you want to check? You want to check which operation we are trying to perform right here. So I'm going to go to variables, and I'm going to select my operator variable. I'm going to check if it is equal to plus. Since there are only four instances, as in there are four options that we have, so I can just simply put 4 if blocks, and if the operator is plus, I just simply I can go to the operator, I can simply do the addition with this plus, minus, multiply and divide. I can do each of the operations in here, and again in here I need to put my first number, and in here I need to put my second number, which is pretty easy. We have this already in our variables. There goes num a, there goes num b, and I just want to, now this will give me the answer though, okay? 84 plus 21 is gonna give me 105, and I just want to show it on my calculator variable. I hope you know how to do that. And again, we're gonna set it to this that we have just created. Now this should actually work. Now if I click on the flag and everything is empty, let's try a different operation. So I say 2, I say plus, and I say 6, and I say equal to, and it gives me 8, which is the correct answer, right? I hope you understand all of that so far. Now the next is pretty easy. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this. Total, we want 4 of these, and I can join these. I can put it here. If it's plus, then add it. If it's minus, then subtract it. If it's multiply, then multiply it. And if it's divide, then divide it. Okay, so this is what we're going to change according to the operators. So I'm going to go to operators. This needs to do the minus. So num A minus num B. In here, multiply. So multiply num A multiplied by num B. Same over here. Oh, this is gonna be divide num A divided by num B, right? There is one more thing that we need to cover over here, which is to each of the operators I want to do the same code, wherein whatever is there inside the calculator is going to num A, calculator is empty, and then operator is being set to the relevant operator. So this is what we need to change. This is going to be minus, this is going to be multiply. So you don't want to do this sign over here, because in computers multiply is this star sign. And then over here again, for this divide, you don't want to do the divide sign that you actually do in mathematics, but this divide, because that's how we do it in computers, right? And that should sum up our whole project. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a test run. I click on the flag. I say 8 plus 4 gives me 12. I subtract 2 from here. Okay, I subtract 1 from here, gives me 11. I multiply it by 2, gives me 22. And then I divide it by maybe 2, and it's give me 11 back again. Perfect, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understand everything that I taught over here in this video. And yeah, okay, one last thing that we're going to do over here, we don't want the user to see all of these variables. These are not relevant for the user that who's going to use our calculator. So I'm going to go over here to variables, and I'm going to hide all of these. We don't want num A, num B, or operator on the final screen. Okay, so that is it gonna okay, so that is gonna be it for the video, and I'll see you next time then.